What's up, everybody, and welcome back to Universal Studios today. Jen and I are going to bring you our top 14 things to not do as a first-timer here at Universal Orlando. Stick around to the very end for our number one most don't do. Come on. All right, one of the big mistakes that I think people make when they come here for the first time is not staying at a Universal hotel. You know, if you visit Disney, you're used to staying on Disney property and getting all the perks and benefits. But did you know that Universal also has those perks and benefits? So those include free transportation to and from the theme parks via either bus, walking path, or water taxi.
Yes.
Also, early park entry. So you can get into one of the theme parks every single day, at least 30 minutes, but sometimes an hour before.
Yeah.
You can get on some of the more popular rides first thing in the morning before the regular paying public gets in. I think one of the greatest features is that if you stay at one of the deluxe hotels, which is Royal Pacific, Hard Rock, or Portofino Bay,
you get Express Pass.
Express Pass, and that is a huge perk.
It is. It really is.
So if you're coming here, and this is, even if you're doing a split stay, if you're gonna stay at Disney for a couple of days, then you're gonna come here for a couple of days, move your hotel, stay here. The benefits are worth it.
Okay, so something we do really want to point out, whenever you get into the park, you can actually purchase a refillable cup from Universal. What that means is it's going to be $16.99. You're going to get your cup. You're going to have the entire day to refill it with whatever your choice of drink is. And then whenever you come back to the park, you can bring this cup back with you. It's $10.99 to recharge the cup. And they actually give you your pass discount on top of it. So just keep that in mind whenever you bring that in. One soda runs usually around $4. So it's a really good value. Something to add to that is you can share the mug me and Scott do. And we'll put a map right up here of all the freestyle locations where you can actually refill these at. They're only refillable every 10 minutes. The soda machines are kind of throughout the park, so you kind of have to look for them a little bit. Some of them are even out in City Walk.
So one of the big things that you should not miss when you come to Universal Orlando, if it's your first time, or I don't care if it's your 100th time, still don't miss it. That is get a Butterbeer. Butterbeer is so good, and I've never known anybody not to like it. I mean, I'm sure there are people that don't, but I'm not one of them. It comes in 3 varieties. Comes in cold, comes in frozen, comes in hot. So over on the Hogsmeade side, there's 3 places where you can get Butterbeer. Well, actually 4. There's 2 outdoor carts. There's the Hogs Head Tavern, and then there is the sit-down restaurant. But those 2 carts, they always get really long lines because they're very obvious and people think that that's the only place you can go. Well, our secret is if you go into the Hogs Head Tavern, it's always a very short line. Most people don't know that you can go in there and go to the bar and get all 3 kinds of Butterbeer there. On the other side, over on the Universal Studios side and Diagon Alley, you have the Fountain of Fair Fortune, and then you have the Hopping Pot. Both of those places. Plus, you have Floridian Fortescue's where you can get Butterbeer ice cream.
We're gonna have to get ice cream now.
This is one of the,
reminded me.
This is one of those things, guys. Do not miss it. Do not miss it. So when you're in Diagon Alley, one of the definite things that you do not want to miss, and it's a mistake that a lot of first-timers do, they miss Nocturne Alley. There's 2 entrances to it, and it's pretty easy to find, but if you're not looking for it and don't know it's there, you might miss it. Down in Nocturne Alley is Borgin and Burke's. There's also a couple of really good places to try out your wand, a couple of spell locations, and most importantly for me, it is a fantastic place that's cool, it's dark, and it gets you out of the sun. Do not miss Nocturne Alley.
So, something that someone does, I'm sure a lot of people do this, they buy new shoes. Please, if you want to buy new shoes, wear them several times before you come on vacation. Break them in, because you are going to be doing a lot of walking. And whenever I say a lot of walking, 14,000 steps, that's on the lighter end. So
never bring new shoes.
Just eat ice cream.
Another mistake that I think a lot of first-timers make is that you think of Universal as a 2-park park. That is true, but don't sleep on Volcano Bay. I've done a couple of videos on Volcano Bay. I'll link those down in the bottom. But Volcano Bay is, I would consider it to be a theme park on its own. Now granted, it's all water, it's all slides, but there is a tremendous water coaster there at Volcano Bay, and the theming is better than any other water park I've ever been to. So don't sleep on Volcano Bay. If you have an extra day and you want to experience all that Universal has to offer, also make sure you hit Volcano Bay. One of the things that Universal does is they don't allow you on any of their major attractions or their roller coasters to have any kind of anything on you. Nothing metal, no bags, no merchandise. So I wanted to show you today, this is my everyday carry bag. It says all my camera gear. We attach our cup to it, but you can sort of get an idea of the size. This bag will fit pretty snugly into one of the free lockers. If you have more than this, then they do have paid locker options, or if multiple people in your party can get separate lockers. So Jen and I sometimes get separate lockers. It's just easier that way. So outside of every major attraction, there are free locker stations. Again, you can use the paid option if you want to, but the free options are available. They're available while you ride. You just use your park ticket. Now, the reason this is important and this is on this list is because it goes to something we're going to talk about later. And that is, if you are shopping throughout the day and you're carrying this merchandise and you still plan on riding rides, you need to know it's going to be tough to carry your bag and all your purchases and get those in those free lockers. If you choose to do that, you're going to have to use the paid locker option.
Another mistake people do is not bring an extra pair of socks. Universal has some really good water rides, but whenever they say you get wet, you get drenched. They do have air dryers outside of each of the water rides. It's a $5 charge to kind of dry off your clothes some, but it does not dry your socks. So my suggestion is take off your shoes, put them in a plastic bag, get your socks wet, you have an extra pair of socks, put them on.
One of the biggest mistakes that you make any park you go to, or any place here in Florida, but specifically here in Islands of Adventure, because there's a lot of open space and a lot of outdoor attractions. Yes. Do not
forget your sunblock.
It's very important.
Yes, I don't know how many people I see walking around here with sunburns, and then of course now they need care, and now they're miserable for the rest of their vacation.
I mean, I'm a pro, and my face is a little red today because I didn't put any sunblock on.
Yes.
If you're not used to this Florida sun.
Yeah, you know, and on top of that, if you do forget it and you do feel like you need it, it is available in most all of the retail stores. Everywhere. And they have aftercare here as well. So they have aloe vera.
And if you get too burnt, they have a health center. You can go and get some real medicine.
Correct.
Okay, so the next big mistake that you make as a first timer, do not come without an umbrella or a poncho. This is Florida. It rains every day during the summer, and at some point during the day, it's gonna rain and you're gonna wish you had an umbrella. So just bring one.
Also, an umbrella is good for standing in lines with no shade.
There you go. Dual purpose. We like dual purpose. Bring an umbrella, bring a poncho. Do it.
Do it.
One mistake I see a lot of people make is they go to the first ride they come to. In this park, that's right behind me at Minion Mayhem. This was one of those attractions that the first thing in the morning when the park opens, it can inflate to 80 minutes and it can happen really, really fast. But if you come here middle afternoon or towards the end of the evening, this ride's almost a walk on, 10, 20, 30 minutes max. Always know you don't have to stop at the first attraction you come to. Oftentimes it's better to go to ones back and further into the parks, into the more popular rides first, because you can always come back, backtrack to these. So the other really big mistake that you can make is to not buy your tickets in advance.
Yeah, I've never understood that. Who wants to come to the theme park, watch everybody just walk in the gate, and yet you're standing there at a ticket booth waiting to purchase tickets? And
those lines in the morning, they get long. And I promise you, that's not what you want to spend the first hour of your day doing. Also, you're going to want to get a park-to-park ticket if you want to visit both parks in the same day.
Most importantly, if you want to ride Hogwarts Express, because you can't ride that unless you do have the park-to-park ticket.
That's right. Also, on top of that, depending upon what time of the year you come, how many people in your party, you might consider buying an express pass. There's two types of express. There's a once, you can ride each attraction once, or there's one where you can ride them many times as you want to. Obviously, those are priced differently. Plan to spend about $100 a person on those. Take our advice, don't spend your first hour of your day in line.
Don't do it.
Not in that line.
No.
Another mistake I want you to avoid when you come here to Universal is, you know, you get into the theme parks and you're all excited and you eat lunch there, and then you stay late, and then you eat dinner.
Or you eat junk from all the different places.
Yeah, so you know, out in City Walk, there are tons of really great restaurants.
There is.
So I want you to sort of take some time and find something to eat out in City Walk, and don't spend all of your time sitting in the theme parks eating theme park food.
And you know, and a good time for me to make that a point to do is in the middle of the afternoon, whenever you know that the rainstorms are going to come in. Exit the park. Take and leave the park. Come out. Eat at one of the restaurants, enjoy yourself, have a drink, whatever it might be, and then go to the other park when you're done.
There you go.
I mean, it's a good break in between parks, away from the noise, away from the crowds, kind of just to reset yourself.
Definitely. So take some time, find some food outside the park. All right, everybody. So this is our last and most important secret of the things that you shouldn't do here at Universal Studios. So one of the things that I think that we all are guilty of is that we see a shiny object in a store and we want it now, and we pick it up, and then we regret it because we carry it around with us all day long.
Right, and then having to put it in the locker on top of that.
Right. So one of the things that you should not do is carry around your purchases with you all day long. Any store in either of the two theme parks, you can purchase an item, and as long as you're going to be in the park for at least another 3 hours, the store will ship that item out to the main Universal Studio store in City Walk, and you can pick it up on your way out.
Which is literally on your way out.
And then you're free to keep those hands free for snacks.
Snacks!
When we went to the store a little while ago, we purchased some items and then had them shipped. Again, the cast member told us that you needed to wait at least 3 hours before being able to pick that up. But this is the receipt they give you. It's a regular receipt, and then on top of that is a package pickup receipt, which shows a barcode and your name and all that information. So they will give you that, and so you'll have that to show at the Universal store when you pick up your items.
So you walk in the very side door as you're gonna walk out across from the Cowfish, and then you come in, they have a counter right here behind us. You hand them your receipt, they look at it, they go back, they get your bag for you, they have you look in there and make sure all your items are still located in the bag that you received, and then you just sign off on it saying that you got it, and that's it. You have your stuff and you have it carried around with you all day. So that's a win for me.
There you have it, everybody. The top 14 mistakes that I want you to avoid when you come here to Universal. Hopefully you found this list helpful and enjoyed coming along with us today.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we enjoyed ourselves for sure.
Absolutely. It's always a great time here at Universal. And guys, thank you as always for coming along with us. Remember, if never lost, then never found.
So go get lost.